Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video tonight there is lots to negotiate about, so let's delve straight into the topic. So I am going to be giving you some latest news on Dean Henderson. Then after that I am going to be giving you a bit more additional information on Paul Pogba, and then I'm going to be also giving you some additional information on Werner from RB Leipzig. And also then on this video I am going to mention Jack Grealish and Jadon Sancho, because I have been talking with you about them on a regular basis. And also going to be talking with you about a bit about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer later on in the video. So yeah, so let's get on with it. So let's start with Dean Henderson. So reportedly, Manchester United have made a decision regarding Dean Henderson's future. Now, reportedly, we are reluctant to offload Dean Henderson permanently, but I think we're going to be loaning Dean Henderson out for another season, because I think it's being confirmed that David De Gea is going to remain our number one goalkeeper for the foreseeable future. Now, I think we are set to recall Dean Henderson from his loan on the 1st of July. He is currently on loan at the moment with Sheffield United, and I've got to say, he has been a revelation whilst he's been on loan with Sheffield United. And, there was reports actually earlier on in the season saying that Dean Henderson could become our number one goalkeeper. Now, I think Dean Henderson has got a contract with the football club until 2022. I think he's been on loan for the last couple of seasons. Don't forget, he's also had loan spells with Shrewsbury in the past, Grimsby, and he also thinks Stockport as well. So we are determined, to loan him out for another season, but we won't get rid of him on a permanent transfer. But obviously, if he's going to become our number one goalkeeper anyway, Dean Henderson, for a while, obviously, he's going to want to leave Manchester United permanently. So that's the latest news regarding him. But like I said, David De Gea, is our number one goalkeeper, and David De Gea has been our number one goalkeeper for several years. Obviously, like I updated you the other day. Obviously, David De Gea did say he wants to stay at Manchester United, and he intends to stay at the football club for another 10 years. I don't see him staying at the football club for another 10 years, but I do see him being here for the foreseeable future. David De Gea is now approaching his 10th year at the football club, because David De Gea has been here now for 9 years, so he has been a long servant at Manchester United. Now, like I've said to I think David De Gea has probably had a good 6.5 years out of the 8 or 9 years he has been here, because like we've all said, David De Gea has been a liability in the last year, a half or 2 years or so. And, he has received quite a lot of criticism as David De Gea, reflecting on his calamitous mistakes. But David De Gea has won everything domestically at Manchester United. He's won the club's player of the year 4 times out of the past 6 seasons, I think, reflecting on his good run of performances. And I think he's nearly made 400 appearances for us in all competitions. Or has he made 400 appearances in all competitions? And he's, 29 years of age now, David De Gea. Don't forget, last year, back in September, David De Gea had signed a new long-term contract with the football club, worth around 375 grand a week. So David De Gea is the highest paid goalkeeper in the world, and he is the highest paid at the football club. But I've got to say, David De Gea is probably not the best in the world at this present time, but I think overall he is the best goalkeeper in the world. Now, don't forget, he has been here since the Ferguson era, because we got David De Gea from Atletico Madrid back in 2011, and we did pay around, was it 17 or 18 million pounds for him, But even, like I said to even if we was to sell David De Gea, I know we're not gonna, but if we just, prime example, if we sold him in the summer, or we sold him, next year, I think we could still get maybe around 60 or 70 million pounds for him. But yeah, he is going to be remaining loyal to Manchester United. Don't forget, back in 2015, which was 5 years ago, Real Madrid came really, really close to getting David De Gea. But, due to a fax machine on deadline day, the deal never materialised. PSG and Juventus have also been in for David De Gea in the past. But, when David De Gea, does eventually leave Manchester United, I think he'll probably make a return back to Spain, because, like I mentioned, he's born in Spain. His relatives are in Spain. His girlfriends are not in Spain. So I think, he will make a return back to Spain. Definitely, will David De Gea. But yeah, so he is our number one, choice, David De Gea. Obviously, we've got other goalkeepers as well. You've got Sergio Romero. Sergio Romero is, of course, our second choice goalkeeper. Romero tends to play in the cup games. I think Romero's contract, if I'm right, does expire with the football club next year. I think we've got Joe Pereira out on loan. And obviously, we've got Lee Grant. Lee Grant, seldom played because I think he's out with injury. I think Lee Grant is a long-term absentee. So yeah, so we're going to be loaning Dean Henderson out for next season. But we are reluctant to get rid of him permanently. So that's the latest news on Dean Henderson. Now let's delve into news on Paul Pogba. So I've just been reading recent reports on Paul Pogba, and Rio Ferndinand has given his verdict on Paul Pogba. So I'm going to reiterate some of the stuff that I did mention recently, because Rio Ferndinand has been talking a lot about Paul Pogba recently, and actually, Rio Ferndinand has advised Paul Pogba to leave the football club. He said if he was in Paul Pogba's position now, he would leave Manchester United in the summer transfer market, because he has received a lot of criticism, during his time at the football club. Paul Pogba has been at Man United since 2016, so now this is his 4th season at the football club. Don't forget, we paid £89 million for him from Juventus. So as it stands at the moment, he is our most expensive signing. Now, Ferndinand has basically hit back at Graham Souness and Roy Keane over the criticism of Paul Pogba, because we know, and Rio Ferdinand knows, Ferdinand knows, and we know that Graham Souness and Roy Keane have been the biggest critics of Paul Pogba and that. And don't forget, was it the other week, Paul Pogba had responded to the criticism that he has received from Graham Souness, because Graham Souness has been criticising him persistently, and Paul Pogba reacted basically saying he doesn't know, he still doesn't recognise Graham Souness, he just heard and blah blah blah, he was a good player and that. But yeah, but Rio Ferdinand, is basically defending Pogba, because he did say that Pogba didn't mean to be disrespectful to Souness, when he responded to the criticism. Also, to Rio Ferdinand, I think, has outlined his best position at Manchester United. So this is what he has basically said. Now, like I've said to on my other videos, I think if Paul Pogba does leave the football club in the summer transfer market, I think he'll either go to Real Madrid. If he doesn't go to Real Madrid, I think he will make a return back to Juventus. It's not fully assured he'll leave the football club. Maybe there's a possibility chance Pogba, could stay at Manchester United next season. I just don't think, he'll be here for the foreseeable future. Very, very sceptical about that, because Paul Pogba still wants to leave Manchester United. But obviously, was it a month or so ago now? Oh, no, actually, it was over a month ago now. Solskjaer, actually, said this in Austria, and this was prior to the last game. And he actually, said that Paul Pogba will remain at Man United next season. He was basically that particular week reiterating in a way what Pogba had said earlier on that week, because Pogba did say, then he was interested in staying at Man United, and he was interested in extending his contract at the football club. And yeah, and obviously, Paul Pogba's got exactly a year left on his Manchester United contract, because we have decided not to trigger that 1-year extension on his contract. Reportedly, though, we could only get £70 million for Paul Pogba in the summer transfer market. So that's around 19 million. Well, it is £19 million less than what we paid for him. I think, Paul Pogba is worth at least £100 million, but due to, the coronavirus pandemic, we could get, less than what he's worth, because a lot of teams are under financial pressure due to this coronavirus, and I think, a lot of teams' summer transfer budgets will be reduced in that. And like I updated you earlier on, it did say, we may have to sell Paul Pogba anyway to fund the moves for Jadon Sancho and Jack Grealish, because they are our 2 priorities. So let's just put that into the equation. But yeah, like I said to you, last summer, Paul Pogba, was relentlessly linked to a move to Real Madrid. But the main explanation why his move to Real Madrid didn't materialise was reflecting on the substantial amount we put on him. You know, we basically said last summer we wanted around £180 million for Paul Pogba. Real Madrid, you know, were not willing to meet that valuation, but his actual preference was a move to Real Madrid last summer. Paul Pogba's, like it said recently, you know, Zinedine Zidane wants Paul Pogba. He's Real Madrid's, well, it's one of Real Madrid's priority targets. You know, like I said to you before, Real Madrid have got quite a few players on their agenda. But Real Madrid, you know, did sign a good 5 or 6 players, was it last summer? They signed Eden Hazard, Luka Jovic, Ferland Mendy, Rodrigo, Eder Militao. But, you know, they still want to do more business, you know, when the summer transfer market does reopen. They're obviously going to get rid of players as well at Real Madrid. You know, they want to get rid of Dani Ceballos permanently. They want to get rid of James Rodriguez. They want to get rid of Gareth Bale. Karim Benzema is coming to an end of his career. So let's just put that into the equation. I think it did reveal out quite a few weeks ago that Paul Pogba's first choice is to make a return back to Juventus. And don't forget, you know, recently Juventus have actually, I think they've put an offer in for him. It actually, you know, said that Juventus are willing to offer 2 of their players in a swap deal for Paul Pogba. So it reportedly says, well, the rumoured players that Juventus are supposedly willing to offer is Aaron Ramsey. I think Miralem Pjanic has also been mentioned. I think Adrien Rabiot got mentioned recently as well. So yeah, Juventus are willing to offer a couple of their players, you know, to try and get Paul Pogba. But, you know, there hasn't only been Real Madrid and Juventus that have been in for him. You know, obviously, you know, PSG have been in for him. Also, too, you know, Barcelona have been in for him in the past. Don't forget, you know, the other week it said Inter Milan expressed an interest in Pogba. Obviously, you know, Inter Milan, I think, could lose Lautaro Martinez to Barcelona because Barcelona have been in for him. Obviously, don't forget they've got Mario Icardi on a permanent. They've got him out on loan, sorry, at PSG, but Inter Milan are looking to get rid of Mario Icardi on a permanent transfer. So there you go. But I'm very, very sceptical that Paul Pogba will go to Inter Milan, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. You know, very, very sceptical about that indeed. But revert back to what I said regarding, you know, Juventus. Damasio, you know, who's a very reliable Italian journalist, you know, he came out recently, you know, he's confirmed that Man United and Juventus have been in conversations over a Paul Pogba swap deal and that. So there you go. Yes, they have been in conversations. Like I said, you know, PSG the other week, they'd offered 2 of their players for Paul Pogba. You know, it said they'd offered Angel Di Maria and Julian Draxler. But I did say, didn't I, you know, that swap deal will not materialise. It will not materialise, that swap deal. If the football season does resume, then I think, you know, Paul Pogba will be back, which is, you know, very, very good news because, you know, we have been missing Paul Pogba this season because he has only played 8 times for the football club. His appearances have been limited due to his injuries. Obviously, you know, back in January, he did have the surgery back on his ankle. And, you know, Paul Pogba gave an interview to the United podcast quite a few weeks ago, you know, talking about the issues that he's had with injuries this season. And obviously, you know, it has really, really infuriated Paul Pogba. And he believes, you know, he will be much stronger, you know, when he does come back. Obviously, you know, he was talking about, you know, what convinced him to leave Manchester United back in 2012. Because don't forget, we let Paul Pogba leave for Juventus back in 2012 on a free transfer. But the main explanation why we had to let him go is because he didn't, you know, get enough first team opportunities under Ferguson. You know, his appearances were limited, you know. Also, too, Paul Pogba endured a very, very difficult time under the Jose Mourinho era. And, you know, Paul Pogba has won 2 trophies at the football club. He's won the Europa League and the League Cup. And that came in his first season at Manchester United. I think, you know, the best we've seen with Paul Pogba was in that 3-month period when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager. But he was actually, you know, very, very good at Juventus and that. You know, United fans have got different perceptions on him. You know, some United fans would keep him and some United fans would let him go. I think he'd actually, you know, go very, very well alongside Bruno Fernandes in our midfield with Pogba. I think, I honestly do believe they will complement each other really, really well. Then playing in our, you know, Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes playing in our lineup. You know, you'd probably have Pogba as the number 6, even though he can play as number 8. But I think he'd be in the number 6. And obviously Bruno Fernandes would be in the number 10 and that. So there you go. And like I said to Paul Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola, he's been talking a lot since the turn of the year. And, we've been very, very critical of him, reflecting on some of his comments, that he has said. But he's been working on getting his client a transfer away from Man United completed in the last couple of years. Ed Woodward, I think, has had quite a few negotiations with Mini Raiola to try and resolve Pogba's future at Manchester United. So there you go. So yeah, so that's the latest news regarding him. That's the latest news regarding Paul Pogba. Now, let's delve into news on Timo Werner from RB Leipzig. Now, I have been keeping you up to date of what has been going on with him on a regular basis, Timo Werner. Now, reportedly, Manchester United are using data to identify, our striker targets. Now, so reportedly now, we have expressed an interest in Timo Werner. Obviously, we have inquired about his availability in the past. And I definitely would take Timo Werner at Manchester United if we had the opportunity to sign him. Because, we are in search for a striker. Because basically, we're looking for an adequate replacement for Romelu Lukaku. Because, of course, Lukaku left the football club last summer. Obviously, we didn't get an adequate replacement for him. Obviously, don't forget Herrera left us last summer on a free transfer. And, obviously, we didn't get a replacement for him in our midfield. And that. So I'll reiterate some of the stuff I've mentioned regarding Timo Werner recently. Because as you all know, Timo Werner has been heavily linked with a move to Liverpool. And obviously, Timo Werner has already made the admission saying, that he does want to join Liverpool and that. Obviously, you've had Hammond today coming out saying he wouldn't be the right signing for Liverpool. And obviously, back in February, Timo Werner, come out and described Jurgen Klopp as one of the best managers in the world. Of course, Di Marzio come out again. He recently said, that Timo Werner will leave RB Leipzig. And Timo Werner is available for around £52 million because that's his release clause in his contract with RB Leipzig. Yes, it is. That's his release clause. So it is a cheap solution, is Timo Werner. Now, like I said to Timo Werner is into his 4th season with RB Leipzig. He has scored around 88 goals in 150 appearances for them in all competitions. And I think he's got around 72 goals in the Bundesliga. And he's still got a contract with RB Leipzig until 2023. Leipzig did pay only around 10 million euros for him from Stuttgart. I also thought he was a very, very good player at Stuttgart. He became the youngest player to represent Stuttgart, then became their youngest goal scorer ever. So Timo Werner is a good prolific goal scorer. I think his hold-up plays very, very well, and he can create chances. Hasn't played in the Premier League as yet, but I think if he come to the Premier League, he would live up to expectations. Timo Werner is only the age of 23, or is he 24 years of age? Another good thing about Werner is that he's versatile, so that's also very beneficial indeed. It has actually confirmed today from the media that Timo Werner has turned down a move to Bayern Munich because Bayern Munich have expressed their interest in him. So I think he's interested in making a move to the Premier League. Is Timo Werner and that. But if he did come to Man United, I'd be excited about the prospect of him, playing alongside the likes of Rashford, Martial, Greenwood and all of that. But, I think if he leaves RB Leipzig, he will end up joining Liverpool. As far as I'm aware at the moment, Liverpool have not yet lodged a bidding for the player. The RB Leipzig sporting director, I think he came out, the other week, and he said, there's been no approach from any club for Werner, and, Werner's made no contact, over, possible transfer and stuff like that. So there you go. But Liverpool, have been relentlessly linked to him. But Liverpool will only get Werner anyway if they can sell one of their attacking trio in Salah, Firmino or Mane. But yeah, so now reportedly, we've expressed an interest in him. And I think now Timo Werner is one of our priority targets. Yes, he is in that. One of our priority targets. So yeah, so that's the latest news on him. But maybe we are seeing Timo Werner as a possible replacement for Odion Ighalo. So obviously, if we don't get Odion Ighalo permanently, then, we'll be seeing Werner as an adequate replacement for him. Because it remains unknown at the moment, whether we are going to get Odion Ighalo on a permanent transfer. Solskjaer, of course, did make the admission a while back now, but he did make the admission saying that, it's likely we'll get Odion Ighalo on a permanent transfer because Odion Ighalo has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. Ighalo has got, 4 goals in 3 starts for the football club. Like I've said to he's a very, very good cover-up for Marcus Rashford. And he's an option of a different type of centre-forward. It has been revealed how much it'll cost us to get Ighalo on a permanent transfer. It will cost us around £15 million. So he is a cheap solution. It is a cheap solution, to be fair. Of course, Odion Ighalo is a lifelong Manchester United fan. But we have got him on loan at the moment. We're paid around 3 or 4 million to get him on loan. We're paying a third of his wages, so we're paying like 100,000 of his wages because his wages at Shanghai Shenhua are like 300 grand a week. And his current loan spell with us ends on the 31st of May. There was reports coming out quite a few weeks ago now saying that we could be extending his loan due to the coronavirus pandemic. So we could be extending his loan to the 30th of June. This is what it had said. Don't forget, a month or so ago, his parenting club, Shanghai Shenhua, they came out and said they're willing to offer Odion Ighalo 400 grand a week, plus a 2-year contract extension to convince him to turn down a permanent move to Man United. But, Ighalo's revealed that, he does want to stay at the football club, but he may have to take a pay cut, to stay at the football club, Odion Ighalo. So, there you go. But like I've said to you anyway, there has been, quite a lot of strikers on our agenda. Obviously, likes of Erling Haaland's been on our agenda. It's a shame that we didn't get Erling Haaland back in January because, he would have been an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer type signing. Don't forget, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer worked with Erling Haaland, Germany's time with Mould. Solskjaer, was the one that gave Erling Haaland his debut around 3 years ago. Obviously, Moussa Dembele has been on our agenda. Raul Jimenez has been on our agenda before. Keane, of course, has been on our agenda. But I'm very, very sceptical, that we are going to get Harry Kane because don't forget, the other week Solskjaer outlined a couple of the reasons, why he doesn't want us to get Kane because he believes Rashford's as good as Kane. Obviously, Tottenham, did say they wanted a world record fee of £200 million and that. So, we won't sign Harry Kane. Could actually, stay at Tottenham at least for another year, could Harry Kane. Even though a couple of months ago now, was it? Or just over a month ago, Harry Kane did make an admission. And he did say, he could leave Tottenham if he feels as though the team are not progressing. But he did say he will not stay at Tottenham for the sake of it. So this is what Harry Kane had come out and said. But, we first expressed our interest in Kane under Louis van Gaal era. So we have been in for Harry Kane for the last 5 years or so. But very, very sceptical, that we will get Harry Kane. Because like I said to you before, these much cheaper solutions than him. I've been obviously keeping up to date of what's been going on with Jadon Sancho and Jack Grealish. Like I said, they are our priority targets. The news, I give you the news, didn't I, regarding Sancho yesterday. Obviously, it did say that Sancho's got an agreement with Borussia Dortmund, to leave them in the summer. Dortmund have told Sancho he can leave in the summer, providing that their asking price is met. Of course, Borussia Dortmund have basically, said that they want at least £100 million. Some reports have said they want £120 million. But either figure, will make him a record signing in the Premier League. And, it will make him our most expensive signing in that. Don't forget, reports have been coming out today saying, that we're willing to offer Jadon Sancho the number 7. Because obviously, we have got number 7 vacant at the moment. But like I've said to you before, we've had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations. And I think he'd do very, very well in that number 7 would Jadon Sancho. Of course, if Sancho was sold, like I said to you before, City would benefit from it. I think, City would get around 15% of the transfer fee if he was sold for around £100 million and that. But yeah, he's one of our priority targets is Jadon Sancho. So I actually do believe now, that we can get Sancho on the board because Dortmund are now looking for replacements, for Jadon Sancho because they've come to accept the fact that he does want to leave. But I think he's enjoyed a few good years, you know, with Borussia Dortmund. Got to say, he has been a revelation since his arrival in Germany. You know, Dortmund will make a huge profit on the player. You know, they only paid £7 or £8 million in from City. But, you know, the beneficial thing about us recommending him in, you know, he's got a good friendship with Rashford. He'd complement our attacking line. And, of course, he's well Premier League proven. And, of course, he's played in Manchester before. But he had to leave Manchester City, did Jadon Sancho, because he didn't get assured any first-team opportunities. Fabrizio Romano's been, you know, providing us with an update on Sancho. He even said Dortmund will demand quite a bit of money. But, you know, he revealed to Romano that we've been working on his contract. We've been in negotiations with his agent for quite a few months. But, you know, there you go. But hopefully, you know, we can get Jadon Sancho on the board. You already know the news anyway, don't you? You know, regarding Jack Grealish. You know, we're looking to get him on the board. But I do definitely expect Jack Grealish to leave Aston Villa. I really, really do now. But if we were to get Sancho and Grealish, that would cost us nearly £200 million, about 100 million for Sancho, about 70-80 million for Grealish. So about £200 million or just under £200 million for both players. Now, I just want to talk with you a bit more about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So, do you believe that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can bring the good times back to Manchester United? Now, I'm actually there reiterating what Michael Owen has said, because Michael Owen, who's a former Man United player and Liverpool player, he's come out and it's basically said in the mainstream media that, he believes that the good times can return to Manchester United under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and that. Now, like I said to we haven't dominated football, since the Alex Ferguson era. Of course, Ferguson endured, 26, 27 years at Manchester United, and we had 20-odd years of success under Alex Ferguson. Obviously, I think we won a total of 38 trophies under the Alex Ferguson era. And there again, Ferguson didn't win out, in his first 4 years at the football club when we recommended him in from Aberdeen back in 1986. And Ferguson is one of the most decorated managers of all time and that. But, since Alex Ferguson's, retirement back in 2013, we have been playing catch-up for the last 6 or 7 years. Like I said to you before, we've had different managers with different philosophies. A hell of a lot of money's been invested into the football club. We have spent close to the £1 billion range in the last 6 or 7 years on players. Like I've said to you, we have recruited over 30-odd players in since the Alex Ferguson era. Like I said to on my video that I did earlier on today, I went through with you, didn't I, the best signings and the worst signings we've made since the Ferguson era. But you already know that anyway. But like I said, we've recruited Fellaini and Juan Mata under the David Moyes era. Obviously, under Louis van Gaal, he brought the likes of Daley Blind, Martial, Shaw, who is still here now, Angel Di Maria, Falcao, Rojo, Darmian, Schweinsteiger, Memphis Depay. Louis van Gaal, did recruit quite a lot of players in, but he also got rid of a lot of the players, that we had under the Alex Ferguson era. And then obviously, under Mourinho, he recruited 11 players in, and the vast majority of these players are Jose Mourinho's. Of course, Mourinho obviously, brought in Sanchez, Mkhitaryan, Ibrahimovic, Fred, Matic, Lindelof, Bay, Dalot, Lee Grant, Paul Pogba, Romelu Lukaku. They are the players, that Jose Mourinho, basically brought in and that. So, yeah, we've recruited a hell of a lot of players in the last 6 or 7 years or so. And like I said to Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era. I don't think Solskjaer will replicate Ferguson's legacy, but, I don't think any manager will replicate Alex Ferguson's legacy, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. But, yeah, and like I said to you, we have sat 3 managers since Ferguson era, but, Man United are not really known for a sacking football club. Now, I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has a foreseeable future for Man United, and I'm actually, very, very sceptical, that we will get our 21st title under Solskjaer. I'm very, very sceptical about that. But, even though we have been inconsistent for so many years now, we are still one of the biggest clubs in the world. We're the most successful team in England, 20 titles, 13 of them Premier League titles. So most successful team in England, one of the biggest clubs in the world, fantastic history, fantastic fan base and that. So there you go. But like I said to Solskjaer has been at Manchester United now for 16 months, or it's just over 16 months. So he has been out of the football club over the year. And obviously, so far, Solskjaer's enjoyed 3 transfer windows at the football club, and he has recruited 5 players in and spent around £220 million. So I've got to credit, the players, that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has recommended in to the football club so far. Got to be honest with you about that. Solskjaer's also got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended in. We've seen a total of like 9 players leave the football club since he got recommended in. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and that. Obviously, Solskjaer's planning to get rid of around 5 or 6 players in the summer. We're hoping to, generate at least 100 million or maybe more than 100 million pounds on the 5 or 6 players that we do get rid of. I've already gone through with you the players that we'll get rid of. I think we'll get rid of Jones because Phil Jones can't even get into the team. I think, we'll definitely, get rid of Lingard and Pereira. Diego Dalot, he could possibly go. There was rumours the other week saying that PSG were interested in Dalot. We revealed our asking price. We said we wanted in the £30-odd million range. Dalot is a backup to Bissaka. I'm hopeful that we can try and get rid of Sanchez on a permanent transfer. I think we'll probably, get rid of Rojo and Smalling on permanent transfers as well. So we will get rid of quite a few players. By the way, I gave you the news, didn't I, this morning on Ed Woodward. Ed Woodward has made a transfer promise to Solskjaer, and he's made a transfer promise to Solskjaer, and he insists he will back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, to obviously, bring trophies at the football club, because we have not yet won anything in terms of silverware under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. And he does believe, Ed Woodward, that we will remain highly competitive in the summer transfer market, even though last Friday, Ed Woodward, basically told a fans forum that, our business will not be as usual in the summer transfer market. So what he meant in that aspect is that, we won't be spending hundreds of millions of pounds. So basically, ruled big transfers out to Manchester United, did Ed Woodward and that. But, Solskjaer said, he wants to make around 4 signings in the summer, because he believes we need around 4 signings, to become title contenders. Don't forget, Solskjaer said he still wants to continue the policy of recruiting young players to Manchester United, like young British talents like did to Manchester United last summer. And a couple of weeks ago, Solskjaer said, we will exploit the transfer market and that. But like I said to you, Solskjaer's promoted the youth well. We are unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions. Our approach to the big games have also been very, very good this season. So there you go. So that's your last video today, guys. Drop your comments, like, explore on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.